Hello everybody, the Canadian Devil here, back for another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use triggers and what you can do with them. Let's get started. You can find triggers in the Fortnite Creative devices map, and they look like this. Spawn it in. You have all these settings. Activating team, like the setting, say only team 1 can activate this, or class 1 can activate it. Triggered by player, that means if I step on it or walk right past it or something, breeze by it, it'll send a signal. If I trigger by damage, if I shoot it, it'll send a signal. If I trigger by items, say I throw a can at it or a piece of coal, it'll activate. Triggered by vehicles, say I run over it or I hit a wall with it, it can send a signal to an explosion to break through the wall. Triggered by creatures, this means say like wildlife, like chickens, if they run in a certain direction and they run over, it'll cause something to happen. It'll cause a signal. Triggered by sequencers. Sequencers are these things. Sequencers, they go out like this. This is just makes it so we can have multiple triggers go out at once. We can have a set of things to happen. Say I press one button, 2 things can happen. See, we have 2 triggers. Triggered by water. I don't know much about this, but I guess if it touches water, then it'll send a signal. Activate on phase, game phase. That basically means on, say I start the game, it will cause a signal to be sent out. Times can trigger. This means, like, say I want players to go through an area, and if I only want it to be triggered once. Say they want to go through a door of some kind, and it'll shut behind them. That's what it means. It'll send a signal out to that. Transmit every triggers. Say I step on it 3 times, or I set this to 3, and I step on it 3 times, then it will send a signal, not once every once. Or if I can, I really can do that. Delay is the delay between signals. Say 2 seconds. I step on it, it'll take 2 seconds to send a signal. Or if I step on it, it'll take 30 seconds to send a signal. We could have a time to run, like I step on the trigger to start a map, and I have to run through a course. And if I don't reach the end in time, maybe it'll shut, or the whole room will explode. Reset delay is the I forgot what this one is, I'm sorry. It's the time or between each trigger before it can be triggered again. Like, say I hit it once, or I step on it or shoot it once, that'll send on a signal, but I'll have to wait like 3 seconds before I can trigger it again. Trigger sound is when I trigger it, it'll make a sound. Trigger VFX, these will also make a sound. These trigger VFX means that it'll just make noises, or sound will make noises. VFX it'll look like it's doing something. I don't know, it'll light up or something. Visible in game, you want to set this to no always, unless you want to have it seen so players can see it. But this just means, like, see, I can see it right now. If I started up the game and I had that setting to off, you couldn't be able to see that. You couldn't be able to see the trigger, so you could like hide it in a doorway. Next we have receive damage while invisible. This means while it's invisible, you can set it to take damage to send a trigger. Like visible in game, if I set that to no, receive damage, I can still shoot it to trigger something. Enable that game start. This means that whenever I start the game, it's already going to be enabled and it's ready to be activated. And enable when receiving from. This will enable when it's receiving from another channel. Disable, say I activate another trigger, that'll disable this trigger. Reset times trigger when receiving from. I don't know what this means. Sorry. Trigger when receiving from, say I step on something, I activate another trigger, then this will trigger. When trigger transmit on, this is the channel. This is the most important channel. Say I step on this or shoot it or do anything, this is what's gonna happen. Say I step on it, it'll I trigger on channel 498, for example. Will cause like an explosion to happen. Anything. Those are all the settings for the trigger. Let's see what we can do with the trigger. The trigger is a very complex device if you're new to it, but it's easy to get a hang of. So right here we have a little trigger setup. See, when I step on it, it'll activate on channel 1 to activate the sequencer, which will activate this channel 2 and channel 3. Let's actually start the game. Test them out. A whole lot of different things can happen with the triggers. Like here, if I step on this, it'll activate the sound, then it'll activate the noise. This right here is the noise thing, and there was a HUD message thing here, but it just disappeared. I turned off visibility in game by accident. Here we got another example of a trigger that you step on. This is a pressure activated thing. Say I step on it, it'll open up the shutter door. See, like that. I can go in. You can have buttons or another trigger in here to close it behind you. Over here we have triggers on the wall. This is our example of when trigger transmit on. Like, we grab our handgun here. The light's already on. We'll fix that, but I'll have to fix that. Hold on, just give me a second. I'm sorry guys, I'm quite nervous. I'm just talking to myself here, and it feels kind of awkward. I'm fixing this mid-tutorial, sorry. There we go. Let's test this out. There we go. We're gonna grab our gun. See right here, there was a light here, and there was a health power up there. Say I want something to spawn, I'd be like, oh, I need a power up. Bam, there we go. I got my shield. Say I want to turn on a light or something. Right, you could have mini games like this. Like I could throw a rusty can at it, and it will give me points or something. Or a pizza delivery game. I think Mustard Place made that one, or something. I don't know who made it. But say I throw something at it, an item, a pizza thing, it'll give me points, or a HUD message. You can do a lot of different things, but I can turn on a light. See, just like that. There's a lot of different things you can do with the trigger. It's very interesting. See, just like that. Happy Easter. Oh yeah, it is Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. Hope you have a great day. And to y'all who in the last video friended Iconic, good for you. Hopefully you can get an interview with him and have a good day. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. Have a great day. Have a great Easter. And that's it from me. Enjoy your life.